So, but we ran into a problem. So what happened when you tried to book?
Yeah, well, what was on the site as available, right? Originally, it was like, you can book directly from SFO to Rome. That was what was advertised on the site, right? And so after we had transferred all the points right over, so one thing that I learned, TB, was that once you transfer, you can't transfer back to your Chase account, basically. So that was really good.
It's permanent. It's one way.
So
Yeah.
once we transferred the points, I went onto the Virgin Atlantic site to book the flight that I saw, which was directly SFO to Rome. And then when we kept looking, and it'd be like, and right when I'm ready to confirm book, already picked my seats, it would just like say not available, or would it complete the purchase or whatnot. And I think we tried it a few times, and we're like, ugh, something must be wrong with the site or something. And then I started freaking out a little bit because I was like, oh my God, I have like all these points in here. What if I can't use it? So we're like, okay, so let's try calling the airline. So or Virgin Atlantic. So I called them. Customer service, by the way, is great. I really love them. And they told me basically that flight is not available, even though it was like on the website advertised as available. And I think there's a term for that, right, Hubie? Like phantom flights or something.
Oh yeah, Phantom Award flights. Yeah,
Yeah, and you can go.
It's kind of misleading. It has like Chase is advertising this 30% transfer bonus, and then you go on the Virgin Atlantic site and you're like, oh, look at all these award seats. It's like 2 seats available. Yeah, no problem. And then you try to book it, and then it turned out like there's nothing. You can't do it. So you called the Virgin Atlantic, and then the first guy wasn't helpful, but the second agent was helpful. Yeah. So what did he end up doing?
So the
for
second
you?
guy, when I called back, he was like, well, while there's none out of SFO directly to Rome, there is SFO to LAX with the layover, which is great because it's a really short flight. And then from LAX to Rome. And at first he was like, there's this other flight from, I think there was an SFO to London to Rome, but there's this crazy like tax that I didn't know about. If you land in London, it's like $900. And I was like, I'm not going to pay that.
It's like, Virgin Atlantic charges, like if you fly on Virgin, they charge a lot for the fuel charge. It's like a $9 if you're flying, but it would have been like their premium product, their upper class. Yeah, but then you have to pay additional.
Yeah, I was like, that would kind of defeat my whole purpose of a business class upgrade with points. Well, but he was like, let me find something else where you don't have to pay the tax. So he was like, well, you can go to LAX and then to Rome. And I was like, perfect. And he's like, for the pretty much the same amount of points that I would have originally used for SFO directly to Rome. And so he was like, great, there's like 2 available seats left. And I was like, sweet, like get me on that. And he booked me on that. And it was really helpful to stay on the phone with him because I was like, I didn't want to mess with the website. I was like, can you just like use my points and book that flight for me, which he did. And so that was super easy after I got the business class upgrade. So SFO to LAX to Rome for the amount of points.
And he put you on a Delta flight first class.
Oh yeah,
you're
right. Good memory. Yeah, he put me on the first class Delta flight for, that was part of the points. I didn't have to pay anything extra or anything. So that will be my first time on a first class flight on Delta. So that's gonna be fun.